guys, and welcome back to the FFHQ. It's the springtime and it's almost Easter, which means carrot cake. Carrot cake is one of my favorite desserts because it's tender, it's got coconut, and we can sneak in those hidden veggies. But today we're gonna make it even a little bit better for you by making it gluten-free, sugar-free, lower carb, and made with Greek yogurt, so it's protein-packed. Even the frosting is made of Greek yogurt. You are gonna love it. So let's dive right into this recipe. One of my favorite parts of carrot cake is that crunchy nuttiness on the inside. Some people use walnuts, some people use pecans. I love pecans, so step one is we're gonna chop some, and I'm gonna show you a little chopping hack. Just like the low-carb cauliflower stuffing where we use the food processor for an onion chopping hack, we're also going to use it for our pecans. So we have 3/4 of a cup of pecans, which we want to finely chop. So you want them to be fairly small, but not powdery, because you still want some good texture in there, so those are ready to go. Because it's a carrot cake, we have to grate some carrots. So of course, you want to peel your carrot first. So now we want to grate those carrots. So we need about 4 cups of grated carrot, which is going to be about 7 large carrots. Alright, once you have your 4 cups grated, you just want to put it into another bowl for later use. Step 2 is the usual cake steps. We're going to mix our dry ingredients, mix our wet ingredients, add them all together and get this carrot cake action going. So the base of our gluten-free carrot cake is coconut flour. So we want to sift some coconut flour. We're going to need about 1 1/4 cups. If you want to sift it faster, you can use a spoon here to kind of press it through your sifter. And now, just like those gluten-free brownies, we are going to measure it properly. So that means we're going to scoop it into our measuring cup, kind of shaking it up as we go to break up any of the clumps, and run it right across the top, making it nice and even and level. And then I like to make sure I'm weighing it out to make sure that we ensure accurate results. So we're going to want 1 1/4 cups, which is going to be 136 grams. So if you don't want to measure, you can totally just go straight to the weighing. That's typically how I do it, since it's the most accurate. So the secret to making the best carrot cake is a lot of cinnamon and also a little bit of nutmeg. It makes a nice spicy sweet cake. So you want to add that in, as well as some salt, baking powder, and baking soda. Combination is going to make it nice and tender and fluffy, but also nice and moist. And stir it all together. So now it is time to mix our wet ingredients. Before you're terrified, yes, there are 9 eggs in this cake, and that is because coconut flour needs a lot of eggs to help bind it and leaven it. I promise you it will not be eggy and gross. Pinky swear. So we have 9 room temperature eggs. Because this is a sugar-free, lower carb carrot cake, I am using erythritol for our sweetener, which is a natural 0-calorie sweetener. So you want to add that right in. Of course, we have to have some vanilla. And to make it super moist and tender without oil, we have some plain Greek yogurt. If you want to make this dairy-free, you could totally use dairy-free yogurt as well. Now you're just gonna beat it all together. That's all creamy and combined, so now we just gotta add everything in. So we have our coconut flour mixture. Dump her right in. And give it a good mix. Once that is smooth and combined, then we want to stir in those lovely grated carrots because it's carrot cake. As well as those nice and finely diced pecans for some nutty crunch. And of course, we need some coconut flakes. These are unsweetened. And just stir it all together. So your mixture is going to be pretty thick, almost like a little bit less runny cookie dough, and that's totally normal. And by the magic of television, we have 2 parchment paper lined and greased 8-inch cake pans. I'm just going to transfer our cake batter between the 2 cake pans. If you want to make it perfect, you can also use a scale and measure it out, or you can eyeball it. Want to smooth it out nice and evenly, and then we're going to let these stand before baking for 10 minutes so that coconut flour can absorb some of that excess moisture. Now our cake is ready to be baked at 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. You want to let the cakes cool completely in the pan before you remove them and frost them, but while we're waiting, we're going to make that Greek yogurt cream cheese frosting. We have 12 ounces of light cream cheese. So that's about 1.5 bricks. Just want to add it right into your bowl. Make sure it's softened to room temperature. That is key. Now you want to beat that using an electric hand mixer until nice and fluffy and combined. Once it's all combined, you just want to stop and scrape down the sides and add in your vanilla extract. Then we will beat again until that is nice and combined. So now for the sweetener, we're going to use powdered erythritol, which is again Swerve brand. So you want to put your mixer on a very low speed and gradually add it in. Once that's nice and mixed, again, you just want to stop and scrape down the sides, and then we're going to beat it again on a nice high speed until this is really, really fluffy. So once our cakes are ready and cooled, we are ready to assemble. So you want to take one out by running a knife around the edges, and then you're going to place it very gently, bottom side up, on a cake pan. Off any of the crumbles. And now we're going to bring that frosting in, and we need about 3/4 cup. And you're going to spread that evenly onto the top of this cake. Move that out of your way for a second because we have to deal with the second cake. So again, run a sharp knife, and you want to put this one on top of that cake, bottom side up. I find it easier to put it on your hand first so you can accurately place it. And stick it right on top of your frosting. So now we want to do the crumb coat. The crumb coat is a really thin layer of frosting that just seals in all those crumbs so that when you put the final frosting on later, it's nice and pretty. So it's really, really thin. This doesn't need to be a pretty layer because we're going to put more on later. You just want to put a nice thin layer of frosting all over the top and the sides of the cake. Once you have your thin crumb coat on, we need to chill this in the fridge for at least an hour, and we also want to put the frosting in the fridge as well so it can start to firm up. It's time for the best part, time to frost and eat. Our cake has been sitting for about an hour, so the frosting is a little bit hardened, and now all we gotta do is put the rest on there and go to town. A small offset spatula like this one will help you a lot when getting this nice and smooth. If you also have a turntable cake stand, that would be very helpful. And there you have it, a gluten-free, grain-free, sugar-free, low-carb carrot cake with a dairy-free option that is fluffy, moist, and perfectly spicy sweet. No one's gonna know it's better for you. So if you try this carrot cake this Easter, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I also really appreciate a like and a thumbs up of the video. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm delivering healthy and delicious gluten-free recipes, product reviews, lifestyle tips every single week. So I hope you have a happy Easter and enjoy this carrot cake, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.